So what is genetic mirroring? Genetic mirroring is sharing the same DNA with your biological family members. Some examples could be eyebrows, same eyes, same nose shape, mouth, chin, same skin color. When you look around at your family and you say, oh yeah, he got his nose from his dad, or yeah, I have the same sense of humor as my brother or sister, or yeah, that runs in my family. We have the same maybe high blood pressure. Genetic mirroring is the same genes. Like, oh, you have really good, strong genes. Maybe you have a muscular build. Maybe you have something very similar that runs in your bloodline. It could even be the same sarcasm or sense of humor. It could be the same interest or taste in food. It could be a snack. Could be the same interest in music. Similar interest in activities, sports, work, or pastimes. You could say, oh yeah, my dad was a pilot. His grandfather was a pilot, something like that. Just a random example. It could be health issues, and I know addiction runs in my biological family. I had addiction issues with alcohol. So when you lose that in adoption, it is very, very, very alienating, and you can feel like you don't belong or don't fit in. So being able to acknowledge this is a huge part, because if it goes denied and you pretend like, oh yeah, you're just the same as us, like you're loved the same as us, we don't see anything different, like that could be like closed off in like a weird place to just not talk about it. And having open dialogue about it could be very helpful for growth, and it could just help the adopted child's identity, self-esteem, racial identity. It could be a huge, huge help for helping them grow. So the basis for these videos and the basics of adoption is what is important to the adoptee, the adopted child, could be highly likely greatly different than what is important to you. Like the differences of what is important to you versus what is important to an adopted child is greatly different. It could be what is important to an adopted child could be searching for their birth family, their biological family, searching for pictures. This could help the loss of genetic mirroring, medical records, the original birth certificate. You can support your child with the loss of genetic mirroring with open dialogue about helping them search for their biological family and pictures. I know I'm doing the same. I'm still looking for a picture of my biological father. I just have never seen what he looks like, and I want to know why I look the way I do. What similar features do we have? These are questions that could be going on that maybe a child that's like 7 or 8 doesn't know how to ask. So it's good to take initiative and help support this loss and the search for answers, which your child could be thinking about but doesn't know how to put into words. So that's just huge for me. What's important to the adoptee may be way more different than what's important to you. So let me see. So race and culture, language, food, hair, and music. These are all things that, let's say you have like a black child. The way they have to take care of their hair could be wildly different if you're a white parent. Like, it's just different. It's not like saying, oh my God, what are you saying? That's horrible for you to say. No, it is definitely different. Like the way they do their braids and stuff, it goes back into culture like thousands and thousands of years. Like there's these differences in culture and race that need to be understood and supported in your home if you are raising a child of a different race. If your child is the only colored person in your neighborhood and you are not supporting their racial identity, if you don't think it's a problem, would you move into all black neighborhood or all Asian neighborhood? Would you be willing to support your child by moving yourself into the same race as your adopted child? Would you be willing to do that? If your answer is no, if you get uncomfortable with that, you got to understand that that's their reality. They are living in a white neighborhood that you think is important, and to them, they have lost their racial identity. They don't mirror anybody. They don't see anybody that's like them that they can identify with and connect with. Is a vital problem that cuts a child off from their roots, and it's a feeling I can't describe. It's like you don't belong anywhere. It's an alienating, terrifying feeling that you just are stuck with if your parents don't really understand this loss, and being around other people that look like you, identify with you, getting around other adoptees even that your adopted child says they can connect with, and oh yeah, I really like talking about my adoption with this person or therapist or just somebody they say that they feel like they connect with and open up to. Maybe not what you think as a parent. So getting around other adoptees, same race, visit their country or of birth or place of origin where they were born. That could be life altering, because I've heard other adoptees say, if you're Latino or Latina and you go to your place of birth, that your body and your emotions recognize that you're just home. This is where you were born. This is where your mother carried you during her pregnancy with you, and it's life altering in a way where you can connect to your roots. It helps with identity. It helps with racial identity, self-esteem issues. It could answer a lot of questions that the child may be answering or need answers for. And then if you as a parent do not have the same friends, the same race and ethnicity as your adopted child, let's say you have a Latino or a Black child that you have adopted, and you are trying to help them grow as a human being. If you have just all white friends and no Black or Latino friends, and that's all that comes over, and you just go visit with all white people, this, I'm speaking from experience, my parents were like this, and it is extremely, extremely damaging. It makes, at least from my experience, my needs didn't matter. They weren't aware of my needs as a racial community. And I said in my last video, there is no substitution for a racial community. Like, there is nothing you can do differently other than get them to a diverse place where there is other people, where they are not the only Black or Latino or Asian child. Whether you think it's important or not, it is vitally important to get around other races that they say they feel comfortable with. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Genetic mirroring is vital. It is a loss that if you're adopted, it's almost by default, unless you can get around your biological family. Please support your child finding their biological family once they start asking about it. Please be truthful. I'm trying to be as helpful as I can while explaining things in an objective way. I'm sharing my experience and trying to give solutions, trying to talk to adoptees and adopted parents at the same time. So I'm still learning how to try to be as most helpful as possible. So I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it did help. So I'll see you in the next video.